That wasn't for you, that was for our distance learners. Somebody pull those shades, pull those shades. Turn that light, turn that light.
Unfortunately, the money has you know the rules.
And now, there is darkness.
Lights off.
A green dot
Watching
on
anime.
a sea.
Spider-Man.
Tune in.
The first real emperor of ancient China was Jin Shi Huang. Born Yin Shang in 259 BC, he united the different kingdoms in 221 BC and ruled them all. He established a standard writing system, money, weights, and measures. He built roads and erected beautiful palaces in the capital, Xi'an. The empire he forged turned out to be so strong it has survived for thousands of years and is even named for him. The word China comes from one of his names, Qian. Of course, that makes it sound like he was a benevolent and enlightened ruler, but he wasn't. Definitely not by modern standards. He didn't like scholars or books, burying some scholars alive and burning many, many books, including those by Confucius. He thought education for the common people took time away from growing crops. Emperor Jin's rule was so cruel that he lived in fear that he would be harmed in retaliation. It's said he rarely slept in the same palace 2 nights in a row. He also sent decoys who resembled him to meetings where his life might be in danger. He died in 210 BC after drinking a potion he thought would give him eternal life. One of Jin's most lasting achievements was the famous Great Wall of China. Around the year 220 BC, Emperor Qin began the huge undertaking of connecting the many different walls around China, some that were as old as 400 BC, and forging one enormous wall to keep out invaders. Built entirely by hand, the Great Wall snakes up mountain ranges, down into valleys, and across the deserts of northern China, stretching close to 4,300 miles. It's about 25 feet high and 15 to 30 feet wide. In addition to defense, the wall provided a way to transport men and supplies throughout China and to communicate with smoke signals. More than 2,000 years later, it continues to be one of the wonders of the world. After Emperor Qin died, Liu Bang became the first emperor of the Han Dynasty. Under the Han, China was no longer isolated, and it was during this time that the Silk Road was established, which was a network of trade routes between China and the ancient Western lands. China traded their silks and spices with the people of India, Persia, Arabia, North Africa, and even Europe. The nomadic traders who crossed the Silk Road took a dangerous trek, facing bandits, harsh climates, and rough terrain. But eventually, Chinese goods found their way to cities as far away as Rome. The Forbidden City is another amazing sight in China, often associated with its ancient past. But compared to the Great Wall and the terracotta soldiers, it's positively modern. Only 600 years old, that is. It was home to emperors during the Ming and Qing dynasties. Construction began on the palace in 1406, and millions of workers labored to build it over 14 years. When the Forbidden City was completed, a 26-foot wall and a 20-foot moat kept people out. For 500 years, most people were forbidden to enter the palace that 24 emperors called home, hence the name, the Forbidden City. With 900 rooms and 800 buildings, it's the world's largest palace complex. In 1949, it was open to all citizens of China and is now a museum.
So that got into some more of the modern times. I have a few, where's my,
You watch a video of the terracotta army?
so my son, who is like a world traveler, he went to China and camped camped out on the Great Wall, which is against the law.
Well,
I'll lead to just
So,
like
of course, his father wasn't too happy about him because China today is what kind of a country?
kindness.
It's a communist country.
Oh.
Communist country is a very strict country,
Just like
and if
the
you
Klan.
disobey, it's kind of like Xi Wangdi's,
Like Russia.
okay? If you disobey,
He just died.
you can wind up in jail for a long period of time,
Did he?
okay? He disobeyed because he camped on, but he camped in a place where very few people would be, and he was not.
That's nice.
So you can see this part of the Great Wall compared to, so this is one of his pictures, compared to those other pictures you saw. So how this is run down more. So this is, again, parts of the Great Wall. Some of the Great Wall has been restored, where China wants to promote their tourism for people to visit. This is, that's my son in front of, what's that? The Forbidden City. Again, it's a later period of China that we're not studying.
He's not wearing a mask.
Okay?
He's outside.
This was 2 years ago, okay?
Cool.
This is a Chinese market, that's the Forbidden City. And some more pictures of the,
Wow, China's so cool.
Oh.
Okay, your son is a daredevil.
looking on the Great Wall.
That'd actually be pretty cool.
Down across the Great
I
Wall.
want to jump off.
Do a
That's
flip.
suicide, James.
Okay, what? Go back to this. This is what river?
What if he like? What
This
if
is the
there's like a
Wangho River.
Look, he's like. What should I do?
Okay, these pictures in China are typical because to China today, because they burn a lot of coal, a lot of times their air is not
Oh wait, that's
very
not
clean.
fog.
It's kind of a smog air.
That's small. Whoa,
Okay.
that's such a picture.
Again, you can see the area that he was in was not a well. You had to hike quite a ways to get to this place. But again, you can see some beautiful. He was able to get some
Wow, that wall looks
beautiful sights.
He looks older than my grandma.
It looks like he's underwater.
Wait,
We're just in
it does look like a giant water slide. Yeah, it looks like a giant ocean or something.
There are giant oceans are so big.
Do a flip.
Oh, please tell me that's apple juice.
He was too thirsty, man.
So the fact that it's still here today, what's it tell us about the Great Wall?
A contribution.
Okay, it's one of the contributions.
Are you gonna lecture him when he gets home?
It's been 2 years.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He's the same son that I showed you the Christmas card
Did you like freak
that
out?
got on the motorcycle to drive to South America. Okay?
Wow, he's a
What a daredevil.